A common pattern across enterprise data is that it often includes address information, such as where customers are located, like customer locations, or where services are delivered, like service locations. And in many cases, the next step is to use that address data on a map. The challenge is that address data is just plain text. You cannot directly plot it on a map or directly analyze it spatially on a map. So, the first step is to take that plain text address and turn it into something a map can understand. That is where geocoding comes in. Once we do geocoding, we get latitude and longitude and optionally geometry as well. This allows us to visualize the data on a map and start working with it spatially. Even with just latitude and longitude, we can perform most types of analysis on a map. Geometry is optional but useful for more advanced spatial operations and calculations like distance based analysis or spatial relationships. This becomes useful across the Fusion ecosystem, for example, STX for customer insights, EBS and financials for operational visibility, HCM for workforce distribution, PPM and procurement for planning and allocation, SCM for supply chain analysis, and service for coverage and field operations. Now, let's look at the overall flow. We start with address data from a source like Fusion ecosystem and bring that into AIDP. Inside AIDP, we standardize the address information into a format that is easy to work with. In this example, we combine the different address related fields into one standardized address column that gives us a clean and consistent input for the pipeline. At the same time, this is not the only approach. Oracle Geocoding can also work with structured inputs where street, city, region, postal code, and country are passed as separate columns. In this demo, we are using the single standardized address column approach because it makes the pipeline simpler and more consistent across different data sources. From there, using the AIDP platform, we push the data into the Autonomous AI Lakehouse. That is where geocoding happens. And the results are stored in a target table in Autonomous AI Lakehouse. Finally, we bring those results into Oracle Analytics to visualize the results on a map using latitude and longitude or geometry when needed. Now, I am inside an AIDP notebook. In this example, I am starting with a file just to keep the demo simple. But let me also show you another notebook where the data comes from a Fusion subject area connected through LSQL or logical SQL. So, whether the source is a file or a Fusion subject area, the overall flow remains the same. And here we use Spark to read the data, clean and trim the columns, validate required fields, and standardize the address into a single column. This step is useful because it gives us one clean address string to work with across the entire pipeline. Once the data is ready, we write it into an AIDP stage table. Next, within the same notebook, we use Python with JDBC to connect to the Autonomous AI Lakehouse. So, the notebook is acting as the orchestration layer, preparing the data and triggering SQL execution directly in the database. Inside the Autonomous AI Lakehouse, we use a two-table pattern. One table acts as a helper or staging table. The second table is the final target table for map-based analysis. We first load the data into the helper table using batch processing. This is important for performance because inserting row by row can be slower, while batch inserts can be more efficient, especially for larger data volumes. Then we geocode the address using eloc underscore geocode. This is a spatial SQL wrapper function that calls the geocoding service provided through Oracle Maps Cloud, also known as the eLocation service. In this demo, we are using the unformatted address approach where the full address is passed as one string. But the same geocoder can also accept structured inputs with street, city, region, postal code, and country passed separately. The output comes back as JSON response. From that JSON response, we use JSON underscore value to extract the coordinates. In that JSON response, X represents longitude, Y represents latitude. And once we extract those values, we can store them directly as longitude and latitude columns for mapping. Then, if needed, we can also create a geometry column using SDO underscore geometry with SRID 4326. This is also known as EPSG 4326, the standard coordinate system supported in Oracle Analytics map visualizations. The final table is intentionally kept minimal. It contains the customer ID, which is the primary key, the full underscore address column, which is the standardized single address column, the geocoded geometry column, latitude and longitude extracted from the JSON response, and a status column. The status column tells us whether geocoding worked successfully or not. This keeps the dataset clean and efficient for map analysis. Now, let's run the notebook. I can run it step by step or end to end using the option Run All. While it runs, we can see how the data flows through each step from being read into AIDP to getting written into the stage table to creating the helper table in the Autonomous AI Lakehouse and then being prepared for geocoding. Now, when the geocoding step starts, each address is being matched to a real world location and converted into geographical coordinates. Let me quickly show this with a live example. And for this, I will switch to SQL Developer Web and run the same function on a sample address. First, I will use a clean address and execute it. We get back longitude and latitude in the JSON response output. In this case, I am showing the unformatted version where the full address is passed as one string. Behind the scenes, the Oracle geocoder parses the address, breaking it into components like street, city, region, and postal code. It then searches against reference map data to find the best possible match. Using fuzzy logic, it can handle variations in spelling, missing elements, or differences in address format, and still resolve the closest valid location. Now, I will change street to road and run it again. Notice the coordinates are still the same. And now I will slightly change the spelling from Renfrew to, let's say, Ranfi and execute it again. Even with that variation, we still get the same correct location. So, what we are doing here is taking text input, even with inconsistencies, and converting it into reliable spatial data. Now, coming back to the notebook, hopefully the execution is complete and the timing may vary depending on the data volume. What we just saw was a single address example, but here in this notebook, the same geocoding process is running on a bulk set of addresses in batch mode. So instead of one request at a time, the system is processing multiple addresses together, which makes it much more efficient for larger datasets. And as a result, we now have latitude, longitude, and geometry generated for all records in the dataset. We can also see how long each step took, which makes the entire process transparent. And this doesn't have to be a one time run. We can also schedule this using a workflow, attach this notebook, and define when it should run. So this becomes a repeatable pipeline. Now we move into Oracle Analytics. We create two datasets, the original dataset and the geocoded dataset from the Autonomous AI Lakehouse. Both these datasets are joined using a primary key. In this example, it is the customer ID. Now first, I will use latitude and longitude to create a map. This gives us a point-based view where each record is plotted using its geographical coordinates. Once we have this, we can now explore many other map-based visualizations. For example, heat maps to identify concentration, point maps for individual locations, spatial clustering where nearby points are grouped and show counts, and as we zoom in, they split into smaller clusters. Segment-based clustering, which is the clustering into segments like cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 3, outliers to detect anomalies, connected flows between locations, and boundary layers to add geographic context using high performance vector tiles. Next, we can also create a map using the geometry column. And when geometry is available, it enables more advanced spatial analysis and calculations. For example, we can perform distance-based analysis, identify relationship between locations, or build use cases like impact zones around events. So what we have done is take plain text address data, standardize it, geocode it, and turn it into something we can explore and analyze on a map. And from there, we can build a wide range of spatial use cases, all starting from a single address. Thanks for watching.